Some common misconceptions of OCD is that it's entirely focused on just being clean and orderly. People with OCD, especially students that I've had at school, talk about how they get very frustrated with people who don't understand what OCD is because they'll throw it around very flippantly that, oh, my locker is very clean or my notes have to be a certain way. It's because I'm so OCD. And they're like, if they really understood what OCD was like for someone, they just wouldn't throw that term around. So for me, there's a lot of different aspects of the myth, but the one that seems to be most common is that people think if their rooms are very clean and they have to have their backpacks clean, or their locker has to be clean, that makes them automatically have OCD, and that's not true. That would be a myth. OCD is repetitive thoughts that impede a person's ability to live, love, laugh, and learn. That's like the best way to describe it. And because of those repetitive thoughts, they have compulsions or rituals they have to carry out to try to alleviate the anxiety that's brought on by those obsessive thoughts. People with mental health issues really struggle in terms of people listening to them. Sometimes people are very judgmental. Again, as I mentioned earlier, talking about with OCD, why don't you just get over it? I hear that also quite frequently for people who deal with depression. Just snap out of it. If you just eat some vegetables or go organic, or if you just go run a mile every day, then everything will be fine. For some people, that may work for some people, but the thing is that's hard for people to understand is that depression and anxiety is different for each person. And so it's really important that we understand that that's the case, that it is different. And to understand that it's okay to talk about mental health issues, and to just listen and not be judgmental, and to be careful of the way we talk about mental health issues with our peers. Like, again, going back earlier, I like my notes nice and neat when I take notes too, but you won't hear me go, I'm so OCD, right? Or, someone's dealing with depression and they're just kind of feeling really sad and down, and you're not gonna see me walk up to them and go, it's okay, honey. Just get outside, get some sunlight, and you'll just get over it. That's not how it works. And so it's just really important to just listen, encourage people to seek mental health treatment because there are treatment facilities around and people that can help. I think it's also important to remember that even in terms of treatment, that varies from person to person. There is nothing wrong with anyone if they have to take medication, and there is nothing wrong if someone doesn't have to take medication, because it's all different. Some people get better over time with medication and therapy. Some people get well just taking medication. Some people get well just completing therapy. So we need to recognize that everyone is very unique, and mental health issues are no different. And once we start to understand that and start to listen to each other and watch out for each other, I think we'll have a better outcome for our mental health issues. Like right now, what you're doing in terms of trying to talk about what is OCD, what are some of the myths, exploring, the causes of OCD. It's not like someone wakes up one day and goes, I think I have OCD. But it's important to realize that the more that people talk about it, the more that we get comfortable with talking about mental health, especially our students who have OCD, that open up to other students, the more people will understand what it really is. And that with treatment, that it's something that is very easy to learn how to cope with and to be able to survive and thrive in life, and not have the impact it has when there is no treatment associated with it.
I first found out I had anxiety when probably about last year or so. Physically, it was the sense that the best way I could describe it is there like a swarm of bees in your chest, and in the sense that you can't calm down at all. It's the sense of you feel like something's constantly going to happen. It feels like the world is ending even though it's not. And it's social-wise, it was very difficult for me to come out to people and to talk about it, because it was the sense that I felt like I was so stuck in my head while talking about it or while experiencing it.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ryan Dobbs. I'm the president of Radar Alliance, the mental health awareness club here at Ryle. some common misconceptions about depression is it's not just sadness. It's like a feeling that overtakes your entire life. It's almost like a feeling of emptiness, and it's not something you can just simply get over. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain. So some ways that we can do that is here at Ryle, I know what we did was we had this youth mental health first aid training. So basically we brought in a professional to actually talk and like prepare people to, like, if people are having mental health crises or if people are struggling with their mental health, they can better equip them to like talk about it to other people.